I'm going to show you how you can build something similar to one of them. I'm going to show you how to make not one like that, because this is a proper one, but it's the same kind of deal. It's like you've got a back plate, a top, a hook, a tab, and some soft bollocks around the side. Now this is one that I've made before. As you can see, it's full of shit. But the front panel goes all the way around, comes up, turns into these hook things. Now I use rivets on them. You don't have to use rivets, at all. Then you just sew the sides and do all this weird shit here. This one, I didn't have any rivets, so it's made entirely just using this threading technique, which for Ranger type of bags works quite nicely until it comes apart like that. What you should really do is super glue all the joints together, but I obviously didn't do that because this works best for like Ranger type pouches or Navarre type pouches or some shit like that. Yeah, it's a big old backpack. Just for comparison, there's a Sharpie. So that's the sizing difference we got there, and we got just a belt with some loops on there so I can put my Vape Nation vapes on there for when I'm walking around. For the best part, it's all just crap. And so is the lighting. Let me sort this ISO out. There we go. I don't know if that is any better, but fuck it. It's what we're working with, isn't it? But yeah, so this has got one big back plate made of leather, then side pouches, and then big front flaps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to build something similar, probably somewhere in between these two. Let's go. First of all, what you got to figure out is your size. Now this is mostly dependent on what leather you've actually got. So I've got this stuff that I genuinely found in a bin. I used to work near a leather shop and they used to throw all of their crap away, and I just used to rummage around in their bin. Should have done this earlier. For this build you'll need scissors, a hole punch or two, probably two knowing how well they all go, and something to draw on shit with, like a pen. So that's basically it. One of the other little tricks you can do is if you know or live in like a scummy area, and like there's always sofas and shit by the sides of like roads, just fucking other additional information is you can use a knife and just gut that sofa and take all the leather, which is where the red came from on this bag. That's actually my old sofa. Upcycling, I guess. Oh fuck me, the light balance keeps changing on that. Is it literally just because there's black shit on the screen that it's like, oh! Tell you what, fuck this 1 second. I didn't like the fucking room. There we go. Ah! That's hot. I know I'm meant to do this before I start, but I obviously don't. Why is lighting so hard? Right, so yeah, as I was saying, you want a bit of leather. Ideally you want like the front and the back, as just shown in this one, to be tougher leather than the sides, because then it keeps its shape a little bit better. I've misplaced basically an entire sofa cushion full of leather. Don't know where the fuck that went. I found that bit, so it's looking like half of that's going to be the size of our plates. So you don't need a ruler really, let's be honest. Now we're moving on to the sides. Don't particularly want to make it all black, although I feel as though that's what's going to happen. For the thonging around the sides as well, like the stuff that you tie it up with, please don't go buying thonging, like unless you desperately want some. All you really need to do is just cut strips. That's it. Find edge. Again, this is from the bin. So just scavenge. Yeah, instead of buying thonging, just literally get some leather and just cut the strip off of the edge. There we go. That's like, that varies in thickness from probably like 5mm to like probably 9mm in some places. Yeah, this hide that I've got here, this was rejected from the shoemaking factory for some reason. They took some parts out of it, but then decided the rest of it wasn't good enough quality. But there is a lot of leather here. It's huge. Probably cover a small baby in that. So we've got one strip of thonging that we'll see how we get on with that. We've got a front and our back. So what we need to do now is use those corners for the bottom, use those corners for the top. We're going to have it like this. Leather side out obviously, so it's waterproof. What we then need to do is build the strip that goes around the side, and for that, again, we're not going to measure, there's no point. What do we have though? Well, we have this leather. Right, so to go all the way around the outside, always go a bit beyond, so let's say to there, and then, yeah, we're probably going to use this black shit again. Right, so we need like that amount. There we go, we've now got a straight edge. So we want it to go all the way out to about there. So with a pen that actually works, mark there, and then just draw a fucking line, as if that wasn't simple enough. Leather's a bastard as well, because it never stays flat. Right, so this is basically to loop all the way under, so that's far too thick anyway. We only really want it to about here for what I'm going to use it for anyway, which is probably, I think I'm probably going to keep a pack of cards in it. And the good thing about these sorts of things is they don't have to be perfect. Sometimes imperfections make them quite nice. And with this final cut, what I'm actually going to do is, because I want it to be that thickness, when you make the folds, when you make the holes in the side of it, you lose some of the thickness in it. So with how I make them, I normally try and make everything about 10mm wider. Again, about, not exact, don't worry about it. Also, really sorry if you can hear anything in the background. I decided that I was going to film a video, so I went, do you know what would be great? Let's put some fucking washing on. Just check to make sure it goes all the way around, because it sucks when you try and attach it and it doesn't. Then what you got to do is you got to find a scrappy little piece of shit that you don't really want. That's red Italian grained leather. That was in the bin. I made an entire suit of armour out of that. That was fun. And what you ideally want to do is like find the middle point, so it's roughly about there somewhere. Mark it. What you can do is you're just going to work out from that. This is one of the best ones that I have. Look at that alignment. This is one of the better ones. I think this one's kind of the same. It's still a bit shit. But yeah, never just press down onto it because it won't cut properly. On my one now you have to hold the fucking pins in place when you do it. But you work with what you got. Cool, so that's 1/4 of the side panel attached. Then what you need to do is fold it over, obviously using your centre point as your centre point. Realise what I'm doing is actually quite fine detail work. Let's get that camera in a little bit. You probably got my knees in shot. Who cares? Mark the holes and repeat. Once you've done one side and you're not too angry with where all the holes are, you know what to do. Fold it over, draw the holes, and repeat. Right, I've got all these holes in the side of this thing now. Now what we need to do is we kind of need to do the holes in this one. What we need to do for that is we need to draw them on by hand. Kind of roughly guessing at where they would sit and where they would match up. Nah, fucked it, didn't I? So that's the middle. See this is why you can fuck it too easily. One there, one here. One on the corner, yes. One on the side, yes. So yeah, basically, just be careful because it's easy to fuck it. Right, so that's that done. Now what you want to do is find the centre one from one of these, which is that one there. Work your way around. You can see which one's the top one, which would be this one here. So you can fold that over, because that's built as an excess. Then you get your long piece of cord that you made, your thonging. Tie a knot in one end, because you're a champ. Hang on. Then literally just figure out what it is you're meant to be doing. This is meant to be like that. Okay, so fold that over. Push this bit through there. All the way through, there'll be bits of leather everywhere. There's tiny little discs now of leather all over your floor. Your housemate, your partner, your parents, they're going to be pissed for months because this shit just gets everywhere. Just fold that through both. Push it nice and tight. Don't pull it too tight though, because leather will snap when it gets to this kind of thinness. So maybe use thonging. Thread that through the next hole. Now again, this is where you can neaten it up if you really want to. I like to at least try and make the leather like flat around the outside. Through, and then basically this is what now happens for the next 10 minutes. Like, it's not difficult to make one of these, it's just very, very repetitive. When you get to the corners, oh, this is where it gets exciting. because it's exactly the same, except it's on a fucking corner. So it's actually no different. I was lying to you, making you hope that it gets better. If you are following along with one of these, if you are, go outside. Stop this. What are you doing? Go make some friends. Now, see, we've got to this point, right? And I'm alright with that. That's going to be okay, because that's going to be the inside, the outside. We're all good with that. It's solid. It's all gravy, baby. But you got to go around and tighten it up. That's an important thing. If you don't, it gets loose and shit falls out. Now I don't know why all sets of those hole punch things are always so shit. Like, I don't know why it's so difficult to make a set that doesn't like twist out. It's just anyone who's ever worked with them will know that you will buy a £50 pair and they will do just as well as like a £20 cheap piece of shit pair. Like, you cannot get good versions. Your best bet, if I'm honest, is where I used to work. Used to just have a set that was just a hammer. You just hammered in some holes. So we're at what I would call stage 4. We've got the back, all the front on, depending on what you want. We now just need to put the other front on, or the back. But you also need to start thinking now about the top and how to attach it. Now with this one, it's pretty easy because it just literally followed it up. I just extended 2 arms up, folded them over and riveted them on. You can do that, piece of piss, no problem at all. This is also like 3 years old now, by the way. So this is pretty old and it's lasted alright actually. But yeah, so what we now need to do is pop holes in here and also think about how we're going to attach it. Now I'm probably going to have this actually attached to a belt, so I'm going to put a belt loop over the back of it. Now for that we just need more shit leather. Use this belt as a guideline, even though it's probably not anywhere near as thick as the belt that I use. I've got a straight edge there, which is quite nice. Let's fucking do that. 2 lines, show where the belt runs, and then get our not a ruler. There we have it. The beginning of belt loops. Right, so we've got our belt loops here. What we're going to do now is, this is obviously going to be our backs. It's the most scuffed up side. Yes, it's the most scuffed up side. So this is going to fit on like here. But first of all, we need to cut the little loop so we can get thonging in. Because again, this is a no rivet build. There we go, that's that done. Now what we need to do is always make sure as well that whenever you're attaching anything, this can actually fit over it. The amount of times I've done that and I've been like, oh shit, well, fuck. Now I did have a silver pen for marking on black with, but that's in my trailer that I'm building currently, which I will get back on at some point. It's just, we have realised that we do actually really need like some proper power tools. So that's on hold until we get a power saw. Just cut some more leather strips for this. I have got, what do I have in my box? Some red bollocks. Let's use some of that. Right, to finish it off, loosen this one just a little bit. Bring it under. And tighten it all up. Now what you want to do then is get like some super glue or something and just dab super glue over here. I don't have any super glue to hand, so I'm not going to do that now because I'm obviously fucking prepared because I'm a professional. So there we go. That is our back belt strap. That'll work. Again, just got to glue those in place, but apart from that, it's all fine. Now what we need to do is attach it to here. More holes. So now we need some more lengths of leather to cut into strips for thonging. Now when attaching the sides, you can be fucking fancy about it if you want, and you can do like multiple different colours and cross weaving it and all this kind of shit, but I can't be bothered. It does look nice, it does just take a lot more time, and yeah, I'm far too lazy basically. Here we go on the back section. Do you know what? I'm moving the camera. Right, so this will probably actually give you a better view of what it is I'm actually doing. Sorry for not having it here sooner, but I'm an idiot. There we fucking go. Now, I know it's got these two huge, like, traily bits coming off now. Let me just readjust the camera once again. Also, the battery's about to fucking die, isn't it? Great. Okay, we're fucking back. So yeah, so we're well aware we've got these little traily pieces here, but you can either hang shit off of them or do whatever the fuck you want with them basically. You can cut them off, tie them, whatever. What I like to do normally is get the last loop that they're involved in, pull them through, loop them back through that, and then pull them really fucking tight, because that should hold most of it in place. And a little bit of super glue and jobs are good. We obviously now need like a lid to it. Let's see what we've got for a lid. Do you know what? Fuck it, we're sticking with the stealth bag. We're gonna have a black lid as well. It's gonna be a fucking night pouch, motherfucker. And then where's our knot ruler? Here we go. Right, get your knot ruler, because this is actually a lot easier. Mark it to there, and go length, and then mark it to there, and go height, L and H. Then what you need to do is plus it. So if you bring that down, that one will probably be alright, and then bring that one down to here. Okay, right, now that we've sorted out that fuck up, let's bring that down here as far as we possibly can. I'm not going to be going for like a straight edge to like the flap of the bag. I was like them to look a little bit more natural, a little bit more torn and worn. So that's our minimum size requirements, probably there actually. So what I'll then do is probably just cut like a tassely shape or some crap out of that. Probably cut it with a knife. So yeah, just carve it once, and then it should tap along the majority of it. So there we go. This is all just like chalk from the factory that I got it from, or from the bin, from the factory, from the bin that I got it from. This will be fitted like that, then fold down and fold on the front. What we need to do first of all though, as always, is cut more holes. Now that stuff that I was like, I normally leave it on there. The main reason I do is so that if at any point, because it's not very strong, if any of it breaks, I've got spare with me, because it'll be attached to the bag itself. Now the other bonus to this is, if you do the flap at the back correct, basically the cover that I'm now doing, you can actually use that excess from building the sides to attach the back. The downside of that is obviously if the back comes off, then it's all going to come off. Sorry, if the side breaks, then it's all going to come off. But pretty sure in what you're doing. I've made a few of these right now. So also, I always try and running thread this, so it kind of goes from one to the other, like I did on the back, rather than. I never actually learned to sew or make anything properly from anyone. I kind of learned from watching things. So I learned how to sew from the film House of Wax. when the bad guy catches one of the kids and he sews him back up. That's from watching that. That's why I learned to sew. So again, I don't even really know what I'm doing here. It's just I've made a few of them, and people have said, "Oh, how do you make that?" Or "Where'd you get that from?" And I made it, and they're like, "Cool, can you show me?" And I'm like, "No." They're like, "Oh." So I thought, better than showing all the people individually, I'll just make a video on it. I do occasionally make stuff that's half decent. Very occasionally. Don't get any ideas. Right, once again, you've got to the end here. Lift up the last one you did, bring it round, thread it through. Just like that. Then tighten that up as much as you can. And just pop a dab of glue on it. Again, I currently have no glue, because I am, of course, a professional. No, so basically, that's your pouch done. But what it's missing is something on the front to hold the lid down. I've got a couple of options. The first one is one of these, which is literally a bit of thread like I've been using, woven through and back out in a loop. Just do 2 holes, something over top just to make it a little bit more secure. A little thing, you just loop it over. Jobs are good. And that'll hold it up. That's all fine. That works brilliantly. And the other option is, of course, like a button or a toggle. Now I have neither of those, but what I do have is a very specific set of skills. Skills that make me dangerous to a man like you. I've got a bit of dowel, so let me just cut that in half. Right, there we go, we've got our little toggle. Now you can refine that if you want. I like to just leave them as they come off. But what you do need to do is very safely make a little groove in the middle. You'll see why in a second. Right, there we go. So now we're left with this wooden toggle with a groove cut in it. Fantastic. Right, now what you can do is hit the camera with your leg, get a text off someone, go back to the bits of string, hit the camera again with your leg, cut off another nice little, and get your little wooden node. You just wrap it like this, you just spin it like that. You just keep spinning it. Just keep spinning it. And bring it together, and what I want to do is I want to do that. So you bring that in over the top like this, and you just keep twisting. Tie that at the bottom like that. There you go. And once again, twist that super tight at the bottom, super glue it in place. Now what you want to do is grab this, pop a hole in it, probably about there, and do another one slightly further down. The reason why I do 2 is it creates a lot of friction on it and stops it pulling through as easily. So get your 2 ends, hold them tightly as you get them through, just like that. Retwist them if necessary. In my case it is. Get them again, push them back through the second hole. There we go, bring it through, tie that shit off, there we go. Now, at this point what I'd probably recommend doing is figure out what the maximum amount of stuff you're going to put in it is. So I'm just going to use it as scrap leather just to bulk it, so that it doesn't compress. I'm doing the next piece. Right, so that's about as big as it's going to get. So if we cut a hole basically where this white mark is. This white mark is almost perfect. So if we cut 2 holes there, what you then want to do is get a sharp little knife and just join those up. And the reason you don't just want to cut a slit is because a slit will tear, but this will not because of the holes. The holes basically stop it from going any further because they're a curved edge rather than a flat edge. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? That is why you super glue it in place. And you've got yourself a little fucking pouch, ain't you? It's alright, it'll do the job, does what it needs to do, holds shit, costs nothing. That's how you make a little pouch. Your front room is now a shithole. You've lost your friends and family and loved ones, they hate you, and you can go play with none of your friends because you've spent nearly an hour and a half doing this. But if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to be kept up to date with everything I'm building on my Larp shit, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna go outside where there's sunshine and air. No, I'm not, that's horseshit. I'm gonna stay inside and play some more computer games. Bye forever.